Here's what the table looked like, and this is the last match of the second round of games. New Zealand suddenly the form horse after seeing off Australia, a result that threw the group wide open, and the top three qualify, remember. Here's the team news. The West Indies making 3 changes. Curly Ambrose given the chance to rest his troublesome shoulder. Keith Arthurton out with an ankle injury, and Ricardo Powell dropped. In come Stuart Williams, Henderson Bryan, and Rion King, a seamer who is said to be genuinely quick. For Bangladesh, out goes slow left armour Mohammad Rafiq, and in comes Minhazul Aberdeen. He's an experienced all-rounder, left out originally, but that wasn't well received at home, so following intervention by the sports minister, he was recalled and the entire selection panel was sacked. Anyway, Bangladesh won the toss, and they decided that they wanted to face Courtney Walsh and the rest, possibly because they simply couldn't face being out in the field. Just look at the strength of that wind. Anyway, it's 2 without loss in the very first over. Walsh is bowling to Shariah Hussain, and your commentary team is Colin Croft, David Lawrence, Simon Mann, and Simon Hughes.
Well, that's brilliantly caught, or is it? In fact, I think it just dropped short of Phil Simmons at second slip. It was a good stop, anyway. It just shows there isn't much bounce in this pitch, Clontarf.
Well, for the first time, a nice edge here, but no bounce, no pace, just in front of Phil Simmons. Third umpire not called, but close. Outside edge. On the way down, Phil Simmons, I think, did well done.
This is Dinnan to Shariah Hussain. And that's a superb shot by Shariah. That's Mirror Hussain, in fact. And that's Bangladesh's first boundary. That's out. So West Indies take their first wicket. Shariah Hussain goes, trying to turn that away on the leg side, leading edge. Simple catch to gully.
Yeah, I think Shariah would be a little bit disappointed with this. Played a little bit before the ball. Nice, lovely edge. The man at Whitish Gully there, Sherwin Campbell, made no mistake. So Courtney Walsh strikes to the West Indies. Bangladesh are 8 for 1.
Akram Khan, former captain of Bangladesh, comes in at number 3. Quite experienced.
Courtney Walsh getting the first wicket for the West Indies, and this is how it happened. It's a little bit of bounce, leading edge. A nice catch sitting up there for Sherwin Campbell.
Walsh to Merab Hussain. It's nicely timed. That's going to test out Jimmy Adams, and he's lost the race.
Another good delivery from Walsh.
The Bangladeshi flag. And the tree is suggesting that we are now in a gale. That's not normal breeze at all.
Well, Akram Khan goes for the big shot and he gets a little bit of luck there, down to third man. He was looking to hit the ball over extra cover. He's able to come back for 2 runs. A bit fortunate. That could be out to Lara. It is. Akram Khan goes. Brian Lara takes a comfortable catch at mid-off, and Bangladesh are 29 for 2.
Dylan in there, and that just looking to turn that away and just got a leading edge. Again, whether that's a lack of pace, but an easy catch to Brian Lara.
The new batsman is the captain, Aminul Islam. Walsh to Aminul Islam. He's been bang on this morning, Courtney. And another good delivery from Courtney Walsh. His frustration is showing.
Now this is Rion King. Well bowled, and King gets his first wicket. The struggling Bangladesh captain, Aminul Islam, is the victim. So Bangladesh lose their third wicket on 39.
Well, you could hear a distinct nick on this. This ball actually carried through a little bit. Islam playing away from his body. And I think Whitley Jacobs will take those even when he's cold. So very well bowled there by Rion King. Aminul Islam is out for 2. It's 39 for 3. Well, again pitched up here by Rion King. Minazole playing away from his body, even one-handed. A nice juicy edge. Ridley Jacobs takes it. Rion King has the second wicket. Well, that's Clive Lloyd wrapped up in all the tartan quilts of Scotland in Ireland. He's cold, boy. Very cold.
Phil Simmons, the new bowler. Defensive field for Simmons. And that's going to be just over Brian Lara. It looked for a moment as though it was going to be a comfortable catch, and he came in too far.
Well, again, I think the Bangladeshis are playing against the swing of the ball. They're looking to play down a leg side and not a leading edge.
Not glamorous, but effective. Gordon Greenwich, more traditional dress. And runs at last. And 4 of them as well. Nice shot from Naima Rahman. That's his first boundary. And some much needed runs for Bangladesh. Rion King to Medab. Good stroke, 1 bounce for 4 to deep backward square leg. Was up there for the shot. A new over from Simmons. And that's another fine shot. The boundary's coming now for Bangladesh, and they need to. Rahman's second. Mervyn Dillon begins a new over. And that's out. Dropped! Dear me, Jimmy Adams at cover. Mervyn Dillon can't believe it. Straightforward catch to Jimmy Adams, and he puts it down. Can you believe that?
Well, a regulation cap there to Jimmy Evans. Just pushes straight up there to cover. Hands pointing up.
Down to third man again. And that could well be 2 more. A new over from Mervyn Dillon. And another run to Medab. He goes to 41. And without him, where would Bangladesh be? Dillon again. That goes down to third man. 2 more runs to Bangladesh. We've seen plenty go down there today.
It's a fuller length there from Mervyn Dillon. And just giving themselves a full swing of the arms. But again, not quite middling it, not where he intended it to go. Rahman again just putting that out and pushing that into the covers for 1 to bring up the Bangladesh team's 100. 100 for 4 after 36 overs.
So after a fairly sketchy start, they've started to show their true colours, Bangladesh. Mervyn Dillon for his 9th over. He's taken 1 for 30 so far. It's a quick single, and I think that you could say that Brian Lara was just napping a little bit there.
They were positive. They moved quickly, and Brian Lara just slightly slow off the mark.
.50 for Mehrab Hussain. A good gritty innings and Bangladesh's first half-century in a World Cup.
He'll be happy with that innings. I mean, he's had to graft, he's had to work really hard for that 50, but he's seen it through, and he's got 50, and the young man will be very pleased that he's got 50 against one of the best sides in the world.
So is Mehrab Hussain, the Royal Bengal Tiger. That's how he got to his half-century. Well applauded by the Bangladeshi contingent in Dublin. Quite a substantial number of them. Quite well struck, and it could have gone all the way. It has gone all the way. So the first 6 of the match struck by Mehrab Hussain off Mervyn Dillon.
And there's a great man, Vivian Richards, there. Old pals together with Gordon Greenidge. Having a little chuckle, probably talking about old times.
And those help. They've burned so many wides and no balls in this competition already, but especially wides. That's Keith Arterton.
Oh, that's well fielded by Rion King, the man who Colin Croft says can't field. That's nicely clipped over Brian Lara's head, but no more than 2 for that shot from Naima Rahman.
Appreciative crowd here in Dublin. That would be called a wide, not addition to the score. 136 now for 4. Extras now a very healthy 29 with 20 wides. 20 wides.
Phil Simmons coming in to complete his spell. Bowling to Rahman, and that was a drop chance. So that's 2 that Phil Simmons has put down today, though I think he could have a fair excuse of his hands being a little cold.
These are going to be 2 runs here, and running even without the bat. But I'm sure that Mehrab would not be too worried. Without the bat, it makes it lighter, and therefore you move quicker. Couldn't be bothered. The bat not necessary if you could get in with your full body.
Just dropped it on the turn there. Could easily have been tempted to stay there and pick it up, but then he would have been run out, so he did exactly the right thing. The bats are heavy these days, aren't they? That's up in the air. Chanderpaul's going to try and get under it, and does so. So, having dropped his bat, Mehrab Hussain, he's now wielded the bat pretty well, but straight up in the air to Shivnarine Chanderpaul. But a good hand there by Mehrab Hussain. Very much the anchor man of the Bangladeshi innings. And he batted from the start.
Well, the intention here is obvious. He wants to hit the ball straight out of the park. Shivnarine Chanderpaul, designer glasses and all, just takes that, flicks it back to Brian Lara. Mehrab Hussain is out for 6 for 4 in 129 balls. It's now 5 for 140.
Simmons now bowling to Rumman. That's neatly played. That's 4. So a wicket followed by a boundary. So there's no stopping these Bangladeshis at the moment.
The new batsman is Khaled Mahmood. And he's off the mark. Phil Simmons with the fielding. And the 150 is up for Bangladesh. 150 for 5 in the 44, so reasonable effort from them. Brian to Rahman. And that's going to be a wide. Easy decision for umpire Hare.
This has not been an impressive display by the West Indian fast bowlers.
It's down to fine leg, 1 bounce. Oh, and it's 4. Well, that's poor fielding. Rion King down there on the fine leg boundary. Anything to keep warm. Walsh again. Shout for LBW and he's out. KT Francis had the finger up straight away. And Rahman's innings is over. An important breakthrough for the West Indies.
But it took some experience here for Courtney Walsh. The ball did off-cut a little bit. Maybe a little bit high, but he's standing well back in the crease, so it might just have clipped the top of the middle stump. Naimur Rahman is out LBW for 45. It's 159 for 6 in over number 45.
The new batsman Khaled Mahmood. At the other end, Khaled Mahmood. Bowled him. Another wicket for Rion King. And Masood has gone. Well, they had to look for the big hits. And when you do that, it's inevitable that there are going to be chances for the bowlers.
Khaled Masood bowled by Rion King. It's the end of over number 46. It's 167 for 7.
Slower delivery from Walsh. And Mahmood spotted it. They're off for 1. Are they going to come back for 2? Yes, they are. And that's poor fielding from Chanderpaul. And we've seen some poor West Indian fielding today. A couple of drop catches. And some misfields.
That's not Courtney Walsh bowling. That's actually a very creditable facsimile thereof.
Rion King. Lovely shot from Hock to get off the mark. Come back for 2. And that's all they'll be. Walsh again. That's down to third man, and it's really well taken. A really fine catch by Hendy Bryan. The batsman's waiting, but there's not too much doubt in my mind that the catch was taken.
Well, I think Mahmood has now decided he's going to walk. Courtney Walsh pitching this up. Mahmood slashes down to whitish third man. Is dying here for Hendy Bryan, but he takes it maybe an inch or 2 above the turf. A good diving catch forward. And Mahmood is out for 13 from 15 balls. It's 180 for 8.
New batsman Hasibul Hussain. Walsh to NML. And that's a comfortable catch. Well, he was deceived there. Straight to Brian Lara at extra cover. And another breakthrough from Courtney Walsh. 182 for 9 in the 49th over.
And the left-hander just gives Brian Lara catching practice, even in these cold clouds.
So Bangladesh subsiding somewhat. And 200 looks far away now. The new batsman, Monjural Islam. The last ball of Walsh's spell. And Monjural survives. So Walsh has finished his spell. It's 182 for 9, 1 over left. And Walsh's figures, 10 overs, no maidens, 4 for 25. And a good candidate for man of the match. And that's it, it's all over. Not a very good shot, it has to be said. But he is a tail-ender. So Henry Bryan finishes it off, and Bangladesh have subsided. They were 159 for 5. They've been bowled out for 182.
A swipe, and normally the result of a swipe, the off-stump disturbed, is 182 all out. Bangladesh, a creditable total, even though they might have perhaps wanted 30 or 40 more.
So 2 scores of substance plus the mandatory barrow load of extras in that final tally. And as far as the bowling is concerned, Courtney Walsh, you can call him a veteran, but in those conditions close to unplayable, 4 for 25 in his 10 overs.
And the first runs off the bat. Just over pitching. Pleasant shot from Campbell. And they're going to come back for 3. Well run. So 5 for no wicket, and we've had 2 overs. Looks like the end of the London Marathon, doesn't it? All wrapped up there. And again, he was slightly deceived. They go through for the quick single. Oh, and that would have been possibly out if it hit the stumps. An uncertain start from Sherwin Campbell. He took on the fielder.
He took him on. He had his head down. As you can see, he would have been struggling, definitely. It would have been a close call. I think he would have been struggling here. You can see he knows he's struggling. He's sliding the bat in, and I think that would have been out.
And that's just short of slip. Akram Khan at slip. Good delivery. And it's not been straightforward for the West Indies so far. It wasn't a chance. It was just short of Akram Khan. A good stop.
This is good stuff here from the Bangladesh ball. Good length ball there. Just playing a bit around it and just dropping short of first slip.
Certainly been a struggle for him. And he's finally away. Well, relief there for Ridley Jacobs. He picks up 4. Well, that's a chance for a run out. I suppose if the ball had hit the stumps, we may well have been asking for an adjudication from the third umpire.
Again, another quick single, quick call. Again, it would have been a close one. Direct hit would have been very close. I think he might have just gone in.
And that's an inside edge, and maybe it didn't carry to Masud, the wicket-keeper there. Or perhaps Ridley Jacobs didn't get a touch.
Well, there was certainly a noise as the ball actually passed the bat, but I would have thought it's certainly an inside edge. It just bounced before it got to the wicket-keeper.
This is Hasselball bowling to Sherwin Campbell, and that's pulled immaculately away for 4. Trademark shot of Sherwin Campbell. Well, that's an even better shot, because there was nothing wrong with that delivery at all from Hasselball, but absolutely thumped away by Sherwin Campbell on the up.
Khalid Mahmood, the new bowler.
Ridley Jacobs has picked him up and swiped him straight into the pavilion. Magnificent shot. That doubles his score almost.
P.T. Francis with no hat on, brave.
He's gone again, and that's 4. So Ridley Jacobs profiting from some leg side-ish deliveries. Some excellent timing. Campbell's come a long way here, and if he hits, well, he won't hit with a throw like that. That's gifted the West Indies a 4, and really, whatever Gordon Greenwich has been working on with the Bangladesh fielding, I don't think that would be part of it.
Shahryar will not be pleased with this, but this could be attributed perhaps to the coldness of the hands. The ball just would not come out. And instead of going maybe just 2 meters to the stumps, it went another 60 or so to the boundary for 4.
And ferociously hit by Sherwin Campbell. Would have taken the fielder with it, I think, if he'd got in the way of it. And it brings up the West Indies 50.
Khalid Mahmood, the new bowler.
Around the wicket to the left-hander. Well fielded. Would have been 4 if he hadn't got down.
Good field in there. And you can see this is the difference in the field in today's one cricket. Full committed there. And definitely stop a 4.
Well, where's that gone? It's in the air. And it's taken. And the West Indies lose their first wicket. Sherwin Campbell caught at deep backward square leg. And that's the breakthrough that Bangladesh really needed.
And a full toss here. Sherwin Campbell not getting hold of it properly. And down up deep square leg. Caught that quite comfortably.
Jimmy Adams, the new batsman, he's in at 3. And that's 4. Not a good delivery. And put away. Ridley Jacobs. Naima Rahman's first ball, not a good one. Good figures for Jimmy Adams. Solid. And that's through the infield. And could go all the way for 4, it does. And there could be trouble here. Poor fielding. Well, Jacobs ran 3/4 of the way up the pitch and then ran 3/4 of the way back again. And there was no danger of run out in the end. Missed opportunity there for Bangladesh.
Jacobs here hit the ball. He was calling for the run, and I think Jimmy Adams was doing a bit of ball watching there and wasn't interested at all in the run.
That's hit down the ground. Fine shot from Ridley Jacobs. Got right into that one. Lofted, but it was wide of the mid-off fielder. Jacobs goes to 39. Mahmood to Adams. And he gets this down fine. They go for 1, they come back for 2. And very nearly 4, but a good bit of fielding. Restricts it to 3. No one down at fine leg. Madhav had to run from deep backward square leg.
They don't look warmer though. But it still looks a bit chilly.
Adams gets that through, and that's going to be 4. He timed that really well. Short outside the off stump. There was a man on the point boundary, and then he went 5 yards to his right, but it was so well timed it beat him.
And Jimmy Adams has been in cracking form since he's walked to the wicket. He's given just a bit of width, and he slashed that through to the covers.
More runs for him. Just a single, in fact. 28 overs gone. West Indies 102 for 1.
New bowler for Bangladesh, Minhaj Abidin. Jacobs on 49. And he goes to a half century. Not one of his most fluent, but a hard-earned and very valuable innings for the West Indies. Ponderous beginning, but starting to open his shoulders now, and well received by the West Indian contingent in the ground. Well, that was just short of Rahman there. Another leading edge. We've seen quite a few of those today. And in the end, the batsmen go through for a single. So, slightly unlikely end to the over, really. Your point, Colin, earlier about the West Indies being a bit complacent is being reflected a little bit in their batting today as well. They're going about this run chase in a slightly ponderous way. I mean, that's a good quick single, which is a little bit risky. And, in fact, they've asked for the third umpire to adjudge that. I think probably that Ridley Jacobs might have been safe, although a direct hit, you can never tell.
Well, the initial view of this would suggest that perhaps Ridley Jacobs did get there. But I tell you, Shahryar just going and hitting. Oh, he's not yet in the frame, Ridley Jacobs. I think he's out, quite frankly. The bat is short by about 2 inches as the stump is disturbed. Ridley Jacobs is gone. The red light is on. He may not believe it, but the West Indies have lost their second wicket. It's 115 for 2 in over number 33.
Now in comes Brian Lara, West Indies captain. I wonder why he's wearing an arm guard. Perhaps to keep his wrist warm. Can't possibly be in case he gets hit on the elbow, because the ball hasn't bounced higher than the knees today. Now being confronted by the quickest Bangladeshi bowler, Hasibul Hasan, and whips him away straight away to the boundary.
Hasibul Hasan here, probably a little bit cold. That was just on leg stump, stood up to be hit. Brian Lara didn't hit it as well as he would have liked, but at least it hit the bottom of the bat, went down to a wideish fine leg for 4. I would have thought that for Bangladesh, the slow bowlers would do a better job.
He's got a little bit under that, but safe, and it's another boundary. So rather damaging Hasibul's excellent early figures. Oh, that's a magnificent shot. Somehow he managed to hit that behind square, even though the ball was of negligible pace. So Brian Lara showing his full repertoire here, and that's what these 3,500 people have come to see. That's a good shot by Jimmy Adams. He's finally got one through the offside, and that's his third boundary.
And Lara gets this behind square, and he might well pick up 4 here. He does. Despairing dive, but Lara had placed that pretty well.
Just swept this. Just behind square, and a desperate effort here to cut off the single, but unfortunately it was a hopeless effort, because that went for 4 runs.
Merab with a dive, the 150's up. But he's gone. Caught at mid-off, loose shot, and Brian Lara is out. 4 boundaries in his 25. Hasibul Hussain with the catch, and the West Indies 150 for 3.
Just hitting that high pitch straight to the man there, and that's probably just a bit of a loose shot there from Brian Lara.
The new batsman is Shivnarine Chanderpaul, replacing Brian Lara. It's not an easy pitch on which to force the pace, and Brian Lara has found that. Straightforward catch. Extraordinary delivery, and Chandapal puts it away. 1 banks for 4. That was a gift. Adams down the pitch. That's a lovely shot between extra cover and mid-off. Perfect use of the feet. Lovely timing. 4 to Adams. And that's a big straight from Chandapal. Umpire Hare signals 4. Bad ball, and Chandapal put it away.
It's a good boundary for Jimmy Adams. Too short from Animal Huck, so that brings West Indies up to 178, 5 to win.
Ready?
Jimmy Adams, 49 not out. The howling gale has blown across the ground all day, making it hard for both sides, really, and particularly both sets of bowlers.
Hey!
50 for Jimmy Adams, and victory for the West Indies. 4 through the covers to finish the game. So Adams has led his side to victory by 7 wickets, with 21 balls remaining. An efficient performance by the West Indies without really setting the world alight. At times they looked a little bit lethargic, both in the field and with the bat, but they were far too strong for a competitive Bangladesh team who, certainly on the day, looked a reasonable side.
Well, the one surprising total there, a rather paltry 7 extras. The West Indies in cruise control. Brian Lara, 25 runs, 25 balls. Monjural, certainly stingy during the course of his 7 overs, but the rest of the attack was fairly innocuous. And so the margin of victory in the end was 7 wickets, and not surprisingly, Courtney Walsh got the Man of the Match award. And here's what the leading figures made of the whole thing.
Now, you must have been a little bit dissatisfied with aspects of your fielding performance today. Courtney Walsh apart, some of the bowling a bit wild.
Yeah, we conceded 25 wides today, and that's something we can't afford in the later matches. Hopefully the guys going to work on it over the next couple of days before the New Zealand match. But our batting seems to be coming on, and that's important.
Yeah, the openers did well in difficult conditions, didn't they?
Yeah, they did quite well. Jacobs got a half century, Campbell did well, Jimmy batted till the end, and it's good to see our team coming together, especially our batting order.
I should congratulate our opening batsman, Mera Hussain. He played very well, he did the anchor role, and Naimur batted very well, and we were a little struggling early on. Then Merab and Naimur batted really well, and later on our bowlers bowled very tight. I'm very happy with the bowling and the fielding. Hope we will do well against Scotland the next match.
We didn't have as much time in the nets as we'd have liked, but I think the guys are keen and they're finding it a little bit difficult at the moment. But I think that with the rest of the games coming, we have a lot of work to do to make sure they get in the right areas.
And what about your partner in crime, Curtly Ambrose? Is he going to be fit for the next match?
Well, hopefully he had a little twinge of the shoulder, so I think wrestling today was a sensible thing, and hopefully we'll have firing on all cylinders, but I did miss him out there.